know, I've been gone for a long time. I haven't posted on here for a hot minute, but you know, life happens. My cat got sick and I had surgery, and there were a lot of birthdays to celebrate. I'm filming this video today because I had surgery 3 weeks ago. I had plastic surgery. I had my nose done, and I'm gonna tell you everything about it. I don't want to be the kind of person who denies getting plastic surgery because, first of all, people are probably gonna notice that you had plastic surgery and you're just gonna look fake and dumb if you deny it. And second, there's nothing wrong with plastic surgery. If there's something about you that you really don't like, that makes you feel so uncomfortable, that makes you feel ugly, that makes you feel ashamed even of your appearance, then why not change it? If you get a chance and enough money to pay for your surgery and you know that that's gonna make you feel better mentally and physically, then why not? As long as you don't overdo it, as long as you don't make yourself look ridiculous, there's nothing wrong with plastic surgery. So I posted on my Instagram that I had my nose done, and I asked people to ask me questions about it because I want to be as open and honest about it as possible. So let's get into the questions. The first question that everybody seems to ask is, did it hurt? And the answer is no, absolutely not. I never ever felt any kind of pain. The first few days were just kind of uncomfortable because I couldn't breathe through my nose, so I had to only breathe through my mouth. I couldn't really taste anything. I couldn't taste food, and I'm a foodie. I love eating, so that was just a little uncomfortable for me, but I never felt any pain. The only thing that I can feel, like even today, 3 weeks post-op, is if I touch my nose, like if I press my fingers on it, it kind of feels like I have bruises, you know, that feeling you get when you touch your bruises. Another thing that I can feel is that the nose is still swollen. I mean, I still have stitches. If I touch it, like if I touch the tip, I can feel that it's still swollen, and that's totally normal. The swelling can take up to like 6 or 8 months to go down completely, and so I'm still waiting for the swelling to go down, to go away, and I honestly cannot wait for it to be gone, because right now I'm not really sure about the way I look. We're only gonna see the actual results in months and months, like maybe even a year, so I need to calm down, you know, stay calm and just wait. So Krista asked, are you happy with the results and do you recommend surgery for others? And my answers are, I'm not happy with the results right now. I have to wait to see the final results. What I can say right now is, well, first of all, the reason why I decided to get my nose done was mainly because my nose was way too long, and I know that some people are gonna say, no, it looked just fine. Trust me, it didn't. I just never posted any pictures or videos of my side profile, so you guys don't really know how my nose looked before, but it was so long, like Pinocchio long. So the main thing was the length of my nose, and then also there was the fact that whenever I smiled, the tip of my nose went down. My smile kind of just pulled the tip of my nose down, and that just looked ugly to me. Right now the nose is still swollen, so I can't really see the final results. I hope it's gonna look better than now, because right now I think it still looks a little too much like it did before. Like I don't really see such a huge difference. I do see a difference, but not as big as I would like to see it. So I hope that with the swelling going down, I will be happier with the results. So that's my answer. I still can't really answer the question fully. I can only say that right now, I'm not really happy with the results. I'm not super disappointed because it still looks better than it did, but I would like it to look even better. You feel me? And do you recommend surgery for others? Yes, if there's something about yourself, like a feature, whether it's on your face or your body, that really makes you feel uncomfortable, that makes you feel ugly, that makes you feel very insecure. I used to feel so insecure about my nose. I mean, I still do because, it's still swollen, but I already feel a little bit better. I'm still getting used to it. It's only been 3 weeks, and I am so used to seeing myself as kind of weird looking, kind of ugly, feeling really uncomfortable and insecure about myself that, like I've spent so much time feeling insecure that even though I do see a difference now with my nose, like I'm just so used to feeling insecure. Now I gotta get used to feeling more confident. It's weird. So I would say if you feel that way, if you feel ugly and insecure and uncomfortable and awkward, I've had friends meeting me after years and years of not seeing each other and telling me that it looked like someone had been pulling my nose because it was so long. I've had friends tell me that I looked like an elf, and I don't know if they meant it in a good way or a bad way or something in between, but yeah. So I know that people did see, some people, like there were many people who were like, there's nothing wrong with your nose, but there were also people that noticed that my nose was long and kind of ugly. So it wasn't just in my mind. So yeah, my answer to Krista's question is I definitely recommend to get plastic surgery if there's something that makes you feel so bad. Sometimes getting plastic surgery can really change your life in a good way. It can make you feel better, it can make you feel more comfortable, more at ease with yourself and others. So definitely get plastic surgery if you can, if you have the financial possibility and mental possibility to get it. And if you're really convinced, like if you're sure that you want to change that part of yourself because it makes you feel so bad. Krista also asked, what made you want to get surgery? What was the deal breaker? Getting plastic surgery on my nose had been one of my dreams for like 8 years since high school. When I was around like 17 years old, I started really noticing how bad my nose was making me feel, how insecure it was making me feel, and how different it looked compared to all of my friends' noses, compared to most people's noses. It was just way too long. And then I also started noticing that whenever I smiled or laughed or even just talked, the tip of my nose would go down, like it would just kind of move, and whenever I smiled, like especially if I was making like a big smile, the tip of my nose would just go down a lot, and I hated that. I hated how that made me look. Those are the things that I didn't like about my nose. What really made me wanna get surgery was just how I felt about it and about myself, about the way I looked. Like if I imagined myself in my mind, I would not see myself with the nose I had. People are shouting outside. If I imagined myself in my mind, like if I thought about myself in my mind, I would not see myself with that nose. I would see myself with a way smaller nose, a way prettier nose. I felt like that long nose did not belong to me, I felt like that was not supposed to be there, sitting on my face like that and ruining the rest of my face. Like I really felt like my nose was just ruining the rest of my face. It was just making the whole thing look much uglier. Whenever someone took a picture of me, I would always, I still do, but I would always be afraid of how I would look in the picture. First of all, I have a bad side and a good side. This is my good side. The other one is the bad side. I usually never show it in pictures or on camera because I look like two different people, two complete. I'm gonna show you. So this is my good side, okay? This is my bad side. You see how weird I look from this side? So whenever someone took a picture of me, I would always put myself on this side, and I would always hope, like pray that my nose would not look too long or too ugly or too weird. And you know, like this side was pretty much the only side that made my nose look kind of normal. This side and this side from the front. Those were the two only sides that kind of made my nose look okay. And so whenever someone took a picture of me from another side, or a picture of me smiling, laughing with friends, talking, or you know, just doing whatever, and then I would see the picture, I would kind of die inside. I can't even tell you how many times I saw a picture of me that someone had taken, and I would put my finger or an object, like a small object, on my nose to see how I would look without it, like with a better nose, with a smaller nose. I used to do that all the time, trying to imagine how prettier I would look with a better nose, with a smaller nose. And I find that very sad, but that's just how it was. Also, do you know those changing rooms that have mirrors like all around you while you try clothes on? They show you your profile, your side profile, right? Whenever I would try clothes on in one of those changing rooms with the mirrors all around me, I would always get so depressed because I was able to see my side profile, and I hated it. I hated my side profile. I'm still insecure about it, but whenever I saw my reflection, well, my side profile's reflection, I would just die inside, basically. I would feel so ugly, so weird looking, and I always said that I looked like Dobby the house elf from Harry Potter, because I did. Like, I'm super short and I had this super long nose, super weird looking nose. I looked like Dobby's lost sister. I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna put pictures on here. And I mean, Dobby is cute. He's a cute character, but he's not good looking, right? They're playing 80s music in the streets and I am here for it. I am living. There are so many pictures and videos that I think would look so much better if my nose wasn't that ugly. You can't even imagine how many times I decided not to do something or not to post something just because of how my nose was looking. Also, one of the reasons I've never gone live on Instagram is my nose, because I feel so insecure about it. Well, I felt so insecure about it. I don't know about now, but well, first of all, I'm kind of shy. I'm kind of socially awkward. I don't think I would really know what to do in a live video. I wouldn't know what to say, what to do, how to interact with people. But one of my main concerns was, you know, if you're live, I mean, if you're filming a video like I am right now, you can control everything. You can control the way you look at yourself, you can cut out parts from the video. While if you're live, everybody's gonna see everything. So one of my worries was, I'm live on Instagram and like maybe I hear a noise in the house and I turn my head and people can see my nose from my side profile, or maybe I look down and people can see how ugly it looks when I look down, because I also hated the way it looked when I looked down and when I looked up. Right, I hated it. I just hated my nose. So that was also my concern. And then there were also so many makeup looks that I avoided doing because of my nose. I would like to try to make myself look like celebrities or, you know, some characters with makeup, but you know, I couldn't really do it because with a nose that long, you could only turn yourself into Dobby the house elf, for example, and that's not really flattering. Maybe I could have just said, you know, fuck it, I don't really care how my nose looks. I feel good anyway, I feel good about myself anyway, and if people don't like the way my nose looks, then it's their problem. But I was the first one who hated the way my nose looked. And I'm a very sensitive person, so when something is making me feel insecure, uncomfortable, awkward, and ugly, I can't just say, well, screw it, I'm good anyway, you know? No, like that really bothers me. So what made me want to have plastic surgery was the fact that I felt this way. Also, there were occasions when people straight up told me that my nose looked weird or ugly. For example, when I first got with my boyfriend and he introduced me to his friends, you know, after a while I was like, hey, what did your friends say about me? You know, what did they think? He said there was a friend who was like, yeah, she's cute, she's pretty, but her nose is ugly. So I wasn't the only one seeing it, you know? I wasn't the only one thinking that my nose was ugly. And then, you know, I had this friend that I hadn't seen for years tell me that it looked like someone had been pulling my nose because it was so long. I had a friend in school that told me that I looked like an elf. I had this very mean boy in high school who asked me, like, out of nowhere, he was like, hey, when is your nose gonna stop growing? And that really hurt. I know that he said it just to kind of be a jerk. I mean, he didn't say it to hurt me, but it did hurt me. Another reason that got me into the decision of getting plastic surgery is the fact that whenever I was around people, I would feel so insecure about my nose, about the way I looked. I would always ask myself, are people looking at my nose right now? Oh my gosh, what are they thinking about my nose? Are they thinking that I look ugly? Are they thinking that I look weird? Are they thinking that I look like Dobby the house elf? I would always worry about what people were thinking about the way I looked because of my nose, not because of anything else. I mean, I know I'm short, but you know, first of all, there's nothing to do about it. Second, many people are short, you know, it's not a big deal. I do hate it when people make me notice how short I am, because I know, like, you ain't gotta tell me, I know that I'm short. But you know, I don't really mind being short. I mean, it's just my height. It's not the big of a deal. It's not my face. I'm a makeup artist, you know, I do makeup. I do people's makeup, I do my makeup, I create makeup looks. I also draw. I draw portraits, so I don't know what my thing is with faces, but I care about faces. And the fact that my nose was ruining the rest of my face just didn't sit right with me. And when I tell you I used to worry a lot about what people were thinking about my nose, I mean, even just when I was sitting on public transport, if someone was looking at me, of course, this is before COVID, before we had to wear masks all the time, but whenever I was sitting on public transport and someone maybe looked at me for a second, I would always start worrying about what they were thinking about my nose, even if that was a complete stranger that I would never see again. I would worry about them, and I would try to, like, if they were looking at me, I would try to move my face to show them my best side. And that's like, I know that's stupid, I know that's kind of dumb, but that's just what happened. That's just what it used to happen, and I couldn't control it. Krista also asked, how did you deal with the pain afterwards? The simple answer is there was no pain, so I didn't deal with it. The surgeon told me that I could take some pain medication if I needed to, but I never needed to. Alonzo asked, when did you decide to get your nose done? And the answer is about 8 years ago, I would say, when I was in high school. I think that was the time when I started to think maybe I should get plastic surgery, or you know, maybe one day I'll get plastic surgery. And then it became more like a dream. Like, it was not just a what if, it became a I want to do this. Many people I know knew that I wanted to get my nose done because I used to talk about it a lot. I had absolutely no problem saying, telling people that I wanted to get my nose done because I was insecure about it. It was never a secret, but yeah, I would say I kind of decided to get my nose done when I was still in high school, about 8 years ago. I finished high school. When did I finish high school? 7 years ago. Damn. Another question was, do you recommend public or private doctors for a surgery like this? And my answer is absolutely private doctors. You want to go to someone that you can trust and that does this for a living. And I didn't just look for a plastic surgeon, I looked for someone who specializes in rhinoplasty, so in nose surgery. King of Change asked, why did you get surgery? And also ooh, Spice Girls. Sorry, they're playing Spice Girls in the street, and I think I'm gonna join the party as soon as I'm done with this video because it sounds like so much fun. Anyway, King of Change, thank you for what you wrote in brackets. That's really, really nice. But I did need to get surgery. At least for myself, like for my mental health. So the answer to your question, well, I think I kind of already answered it with the last questions, but yeah, I did it for my mental health, basically. I did it so that I would feel more confident, more at ease with others and with myself. Well, mainly with myself and then with others. I did it so that I would stop worrying about what people were thinking and about how I would look in pictures and videos, and I just did it to feel better, to feel mentally better and more stable. Another question I got was, can you breathe better now? The answer is yes, I can. I did not just get a rhinoplasty, I got a septorhinoplasty. So it wasn't just my nose, it was also my septum, because obviously before surgery I had a few tests done. They saw that my septum was kind of deviated, so the surgeon also fixed that, like he kind of fixed my septum, and I can breathe so much better now. I had been having trouble breathing since December 2020, and I thought it was just early allergies because I'm very allergic, but usually I get my allergies around late spring, the beginning of summer, late spring, sometimes in fall, but just a little bit. It's just because of one plant. I have a lot of plant allergies, like plant related allergies. I started having this crazy allergy in December, like right before Christmas, and I just didn't understand it. I was like, why am I having these crazy allergy attacks? Why am I breathing so badly through my nose when it's not allergy season yet? It was really, really bad. And after surgery, I noticed that I was breathing so much better. Like my nose it's just not that stuffed anymore. And it happened right after surgery. Right after I started being able to breathe again after surgery. And I was like, wait, so all this time I thought that I was breathing so bad because of my allergies, but right now I really think it was mainly because of my deviated septum that is now fixed. Another question is, did the bruises under your eyes hurt? The answer is no, not really. I wasn't touching them, so I can't really tell. Until a couple days ago, I still had a little bit of a bruise here, and even when I touched it, it didn't really hurt. So the answer is no. The next question is, was the recovery easier or harder than you initially thought? And the answer is, I didn't really think much about it. Honestly, my only concern was the final result and feeling better with myself. So I didn't even care about pain or bruises or bleeding. I never really took time to think about the recovery because, that was just a phase. So I didn't really expect anything. I didn't expect it to be easy or hard. I just kind of went with the flow. What I got done was a septorhinoplasty, but it was performed using a newer technique. It's called ultrasonic rhinoplasty. It's a technique that allows the surgeon to perform a more detailed job, and it also allows the person to have less bruising, less pain, less bleeding, less swelling. So it's a technique that has a lighter impact on the person, and my surgeon has been using that technique for years. One of the reasons why I chose that surgeon specifically was the fact that he uses ultrasonic rhinoplasty. I had been hearing about it for a few years, and I had actually spoken with a model that I knew because I did her makeup years ago. I noticed a few years ago that she had her nose done, and I messaged her. I was like, hey girl, if you don't mind me asking, you look so good. I've noticed that you got your nose done, and I would love to know who you went to because you look so good. Like, you look incredible, you're so beautiful. And she was like, I went to this doctor in Madrid, who is not the doctor I went to in the end, because I was not gonna go to Spain, like all the way to Spain to get my nose done. But she went to this doctor in Madrid, and she said that he used ultrasonic rhinoplasty, and she told me that she had absolutely no pain, not that much bruising. She had a very speedy recovery. And so I was like, well, that's great. I'm gonna look for someone in my town who can perform that. But I've also heard about many other people who have gotten their noses done not with ultrasonic rhinoplasty, just with normal rhinoplasty, and they never had any problems with the recovery either. I think rhinoplasty has now come to a time when the recovery is usually not that hard. Of course, you can have complications, but you know, most times it's pretty chill. Leah, who is a gorgeous, gorgeous girl, asked, will you show us a before and after picture? And of course. I noticed that it's super late. I have to go somewhere, and I really wanted to do a story time on the actual surgery, but I'm gonna have to film that on another day. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you to all the people who asked questions. And yeah, I'm gonna see you soon with the actual story time about my surgery. Bye guys, love you.